Hi, how are you today? In this video, we're going to talk about grieving. We grieve when someone in our circle passes away. A child, a parent, a spouse, a co-worker, a sibling, a friend. We grieve for an ending of a relationship, be it romantic ones, platonic ones, or familial ones, like when a family member cut you off or you are the one that's doing the cutting off. We also grieve for an ending of a phase of our lives, such as ending of our working lives and entering the retirement phase. And lastly, we grieve for the loss of our pets. I'm Hui. I'm a licensed professional counselor at Heart to Heart with Me, and I post mental health education videos on a weekly basis. There's been a death in my circle recently. The news was devastating and shocking to all of us who know the person. I won't go into the details of it. It's not information for me to share here. But I do want to talk about grieving today. We all grieve differently. Yes, in 1969, Kubler-Ross introduced a 5 stages grief model to us. And the 5 stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. However, there are 2 things to take note here. Number 1, these stages are not linear. And number 2, some people may not experience all 5 stages. So it is more readily known that these 5 stages are the most commonly observed in the grieving population. Typically, acceptance is being viewed as being ready to move forward. An example would be, my wife is dead, but I'm going to be okay. But oftentimes, it is mistaken that people should take it as, it's okay, my wife is dead. Can you imagine saying that to a widower? So there's a huge difference between moving on versus moving forward with. People tell or imply that the person who's grieving should move on by saying things like these. You know, the deceased wouldn't want you to be sad. They would want you to be happy. Or we stop them from going to the cemetery every week. Or even stop them from talking about the deceased. When we do that, we are telling them that their feelings are not valid, that their love for the deceased is wrong. It is as though the changes or the impact that the deceased have on us shouldn't be recognized. But the person who's grieving wouldn't stop feeling sad, or stop going to the cemetery, or stop thinking about the deceased just because you tell them to. They won't stop doing them. They just won't tell you. Because we can't move on from love. Love is one thing that never dies. So if you truly care about the person who's grieving, let them do what they need to do to grieve, like going to the cemetery on a weekly basis, or let them talk about the deceased. You can ask them more. You can ask them to tell you what he's like, some of his likes and dislikes, or even some of the anecdotes that make them smile or laugh, or maybe sit with them when they're in pain, lend a shoulder for them to cry on, instead of urging them to move on and shoving those complicated feelings away. So instead of moving on, we move forward with the memory that we have about the deceased and the impact that the deceased have on us. This is actually something that I learned from a widow from a TED Talk. I don't know her personally, but I find what she shared incredibly moving and relevant. I hope it helps you too. If you find this information helpful, give us a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any question about this topic. You are encouraged to use the information in this video to improve your mental health. However, this is not a substitute for professional help.